Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Soap the Great, and I am back with another Jungle Island adventure. Well, today we might not have an adventure. We've been having a few of those in a row, so it's probably time for a project. And so let me set up the scenario for you. Okay, so I am here in the Nether. I'm over at my blaze farm, and you can see one about to pop in. We'll just help him in. So there he goes. Alright, so you see you just let these guys hang out right here, and you stand AFK right here, and that activates the spawner, and you would expect that after 20 or 30 minutes or so, you would have a lot of blazes hanging out in just this position. And I did that the other day because I needed to repair some picks, and you'll see why in just a moment. And I went AFK for about 20 minutes or so, and when I came back there were no blaze in the chamber here. Instead, they were up top. And I kept hearing the fireball noise go, which means that they were aggro. Okay? So, yeah, so I was up here, and all the blazes were hanging out up here, and there were no new blazes showing up because they were all aggressive. Yeah, so I had been wondering about that. In 1.7, we had issues here where the blaze would sometimes glitch into some solid block and they would be able to see me, and then they'd start shooting their fireballs. And that means that they would be aggro. And in 1.8, things are a little different in that once a blaze gets aggro, it also aggroes all blaze within 16 blocks. Got him. Alright, so all the blaze around also got aggro whenever whichever one got aggro. And the other problem is that they started shooting fireballs and killing each other. So my blaze farm is essentially done, okay? So 1.8 killed my wither skeleton hunting grounds, and it has also killed my blaze farm, which means that my source of XP is now back to just the zombie grinder. And you'll be able to see, you can see it coming into view now, why I was having to repair picks. Okay, you can see it right there. What do you think? Now, I had been holding off on doing a nether hub until I had gotten my nether portal fixed where I wanted it in the overworld, and it is fixed where I want it. I hear another one. I will tell you, there's nothing like having ghasts around when you're building with glass in the nether. It's somewhat disconcerting, to say the least. So, I had fixed where I wanted the portal in the overworld, so that means that I was ready to fix where I wanted it here in the nether as well. It used to be over... let's see. You can see the tower come down. It was like right there between in this sector right here. And yeah, so I've got it where I want it now. And so I had just a stroke of inspiration. I don't know how inspired you might think it is, but I like it. I've built this glass sphere. It is centered on the exact center portal block right there. So where that and that vertically and horizontally meet, it's centered right there. So it's 35 total diameter that way and that way, vertically and horizontally, all, well, X, Y, and Z. So I think it looks pretty cool, especially from the outside, but I did have a few mishaps while I was building it with ghasts. Not too many, but yeah, I had to go hunting every time I heard one. So I was going to ask you for some advice on how to decorate the whole thing, because just a glass sphere is kind of boring. But I've had some ideas about that, and I'm going to put them into place pretty soon. It'll be mostly off camera. I won't bring you along for all of that. I'll just show you bits and pieces as I do it, and we'll just continue with projects and adventures here in the main parts of the episode. But I'm going up to the roof because we need to get back to a decent XP solution. Okay, So the blaze farm is dead. We don't have an Enderman farm. Our zombie grinder is good, but it's slow. So what we're going to do here on Jungle Island Adventures is go on a bit of a mini-series, if you will, of doing a bunch of XP farms, okay? So the next few episodes, we will look at a few different types. We'll do a project on each one. And this first one, we will be building the X79. It's by Impulse XV. No, Impulse SV. I'm sorry, Impulse SV. And he put together one that uses the zombie pigman pathing and aggressiveness behavior to get XP and gold. So we're going to get two things out of this, XP and gold. And yeah, so I'm going to get started on this. You can see I've brought all the materials here. At least that's what's in his tutorial. And I'm going to get started. And I'll bring you along for little bits and pieces along the way. I'm going to build most of it off camera. If you're really wanting to know about how to build this thing, I will put a link to that tutorial in the description box below. Did not want to do that. Do I have any ender pearls? There are no ender pearls. Do I have any in there? I probably don't. None in there either. So we should probably grab some ladders as well. Or do this 2 up. Okay, anyway, I'm going to get started. We need to go up to 242 up there. And yeah, then we'll get started with the rest of the build. So I will see you once I get up there. Back in a bit. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are up at y equals 242.5. Building on the half slab so that things don't spawn normally where I will be hanging out. Let's just get rid of that F3 screen real quick. So next up, what I need to do is build where the track is going to go, and that's going to go on the edge here and back up against this corner, and it'll go out that way 56 away from that block. But I'll get that done, and then I'll also start working on the spawn pads, and then we will go from there. Alright, so I will see you in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I have not finished the spawning platforms quite yet, but I wanted to bring you in just to show you kind of what I'm doing. Now, in the tutorial, Impulse is in creative mode and building this, so he doesn't quite have to deal with mob spawns while he's doing it. And so he just builds the platforms one at a time. But if I were to be doing that, then by the time I finished up on this side and took it all the way over to there where these platforms are supposed to finish, I should be getting ghast and pigment spawns over here. So it's one of the reasons why I'm not putting down as much glass as he does in the tutorial. You see I don't have any more on my inventory. So what I've done instead is I got the basic foundation done for the bottom floors, and then I've just jumped up and done the top floors, and I'm going to do this top floor first with the ghast prevention bar right there, and I'm going to carry that on across all the way to where it ends with 32 blocks. Yeah, so this is 1, so I'll need 31 more layers all along this side, and then I can drop down to the next floor below and fill that one out, and I won't get any ghast spawns. So that's just a heads up that I hope it works out. I'll let you know once I complete it whether it was successful, and if I see anything interesting, like if I'm fighting ghasts, I will try to bring you back in. I'll try to remember to. Sometimes I forget. But yeah, just a little note, if you are building this in survival, you might want to think about that. So anyway, back to block placement. Well, I said I would bring you in if anything interesting was about to happen, and we've managed to get a pigman trapped into this little area at the back here, so we're going to go ahead and name this one. I'm calling him Zisto because that's just easy, and if you do not follow what's going on in the Minecraft world, Zisto is a member of the Minecraft server, and he also has pretty good Let's Play, and he does really big epic builds, and I've enjoyed watching his channel. So anyway, I'm going to name that pigman Zisto because Zisto wears a zombie pigman skin. So there we go. It's fitting. He's not quite in the correct position. I do need to take out a block under there. The problem at the moment is that there are so many pigmen around, I'm bound to hit one. So I've named him. He's not going to despawn. And then once I get everything over here cleaned up, then we should be able to take out that bottom block and let him drop down. But yeah, I've still got another set of spawning pads to do over on this side. So I'm going to get started on that. See you in a moment. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. The spawning platforms are all done. And I've also got the towers here, or the drop shafts, ready for them whenever they begin their descent. So next up, we need to do the crushing chamber and then get on to some of the redstone. So I will bring you back once I've completed that, and then we can walk around it and see what else needs to be done, and I can tell you what's going on. All right? I will see you in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with a little bit of a progress report. I have gotten all of the redstone minus the sorting and storage system, but the crusher is done, and the the minecart rail system is done. So let's just take a look at what's going on here. First, if you are not familiar with this tutorial, what's going to happen is there's going to be minecart rail all the way along this platform right here. You can see a little bit of what I've done over here by placing out the rail. I'm not ready to close it off yet, and so I don't want to place the rail because rail is actually spawnable in 1.8 now. It's not actually the rail, it's the block beneath it being a solid block, and rail no longer blocks spawns. So I want to make sure that this stays non-spawnable until I'm absolutely ready for these pigmen to start spawning in this area. So I haven't put out the minecart rail there yet. I have put it over here though, so we should be good to go on in that regard. So let's go back over here. What's going to happen is that we've got a timer that I've covered up. You can see it kind of down there, and that timer is going to go off every so often and send off the minecart that's going to be sitting on this block right here on a powered rail. It's going to go and shoot. Well, it's me because it's single player, so only me. And I'll just go back and forth, and on occasion, that timer will also set an additional timer to keep these pistons extended. Okay, so these will retract a little bit, let some pigmen fall in, and then they'll extend, crush the pigmen, and then all of these hoppers will carry the items from the pigmen to the sorting system that I'm getting ready to put in. So hopefully you have an idea of how it works. Let's take a look at the specific timing mechanism. And let's go down here. So this is an etho hopper timer, and I'm using this one even though it is not my favorite. I do prefer the TTSOR Minecraft hopper timer, but this is what Impulse used in his tutorial, so that's what I'm using as well. And let's go here. You can see the timings are okay. There we go. So it's half a stack of items there, and then we go over here. This is a pulse extender, and that I've never really thought about the difference between the pulse extender and the timer. I'll have to do that. This one uses, it's the same basic construction, it's just the timer uses 2 sticky pistons pulling that redstone block back and forth, and then this one uses a regular piston and a sticky piston pushing it back and forth. I don't know. If you know the difference, why a sticky piston and regular piston are different from 2 sticky pistons, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, so we'll go on and we take an output from this pulse extender and send it into a torch tower, which extends those pistons for the crushing mechanism. So it's pretty simple. The hardest part here has been building at such such a distance from the floor. So, you know, I got to be careful. I haven't fallen yet, but there's still some time for that because the build is not done. So yeah, I'll let you know if anything catastrophic happens in that regard. But next up is the sorting and storage system. So let me get working on that, and I'll bring you back, and then maybe we can take this for a test drive, shall we? All right, see you in a bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are done pretty much with the farm. I've set up the sorting system, so we're getting some through. This is also from the filter that I had to set up. And we're getting some. Oh, you come over here, and I still need to set up one part of the filter up here. A little bit. Now I've gone ahead and run a test real quick on those guys, and they are not the least bit happy with me. That is for sure. Oh, that's not good. I'll have to get back out of there. Okay. So what I want to do is make sure that that is good to go on the rotten flesh filter, and we're pretty good there. So still to do on this farm, let me just let you know, is we need a cleric villager up here so we can easily trade the rotten flesh that we're going to be getting for emeralds. We also need an enchanting area, and we need a new elevator because this ladder, it's sufficient, but it's not fun. So we're going to need some sort of an elevator to get up here much more easily. But let's see, I'm thinking that we'll have one of the amenities over here, so either the enchanting area or the cleric or a couple of cleric villagers, and then the other one back here, and then maybe the elevator is back on this side. Since we've got some room, maybe we can do a new slime block elevator. Who knows? We'll see. That's for the future. The XP farm, that was the main thing for today, and that is done. Let me just show you. Let's turn this on. They are currently mad at me, so they should be trying to path to me. Maybe not. They might not be mad anymore. We'll see soon enough. Did we get some XP? I don't know. We'll see. They might not be mad at me anymore. No, they're not mad at me anymore. So there we go. Okay, yeah, there we go. So I can hit him from there. The problem is he takes damage. So if I keep doing that, I'm gonna have to get a new pigman. So I also need to get a source of snowmen and snowballs, and then I can just hit him with a snowball. He doesn't take any damage, but he does get mad. So we're gonna go that route. But they should be mad enough at me to follow. No, they're not doing it. So I don't know. We'll see. They were mad earlier, but they may have lost their aggressiveness. So that's going to be it for now. Join us next time as we take a look at another XP farm. And I'm not sure which one we're going to do. Well, let's see. We've still got the Enderman farm. We've got to do a Blaze farm. And then I found a dual dungeon. So we might do a dual dungeon XP grinder. But I think, we'll make the decision now. I'm going to do the Enderman farm next. There's a new design for 1.8 that I want to try. And so we'll get that one going. So join us next time for that. And then we can start discussing the relative merits and demerits or advantages and disadvantages of each one. And hopefully you will learn something along with me as we do these. But that's going to be it for now, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, a like is always appreciated. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.